All right, so today I am going to be creating a video for you that goes through all the answers for the Gauss 2016. Actually, this is my second take, but my first take was over 33 minutes long, and I thought that was too long. So I'm going to go through this really quick. Unfortunately, the first video that I made, that's what all the blue marker is, where I actually do it. I'm going to go through it pretty quick, because that's just too long. But a reminder, two reminders. First of all, this is the only assignment you have for today, is just to review the answers, because yeah, that's it. And tomorrow we'll take another Gauss test. So let's start here with number 1. And again, you can simply use a calculator. 444 minus 44 minus 4 is 396. Answer is A. Number 2 is asking what's the equivalent of 4 over 5. So my calculator, I'm doing 4 divided by 5, which gives me a decimal, 0.8. All the answers were decimals, so 0.8, B. Number 3 asks how many hours this guy worked. Look at the beautiful graph I even made. You just got to add up together. So Monday he worked 2 hours, then he worked 0, then 3, 1, and 2. I add them together, equals 8. Answer is C. Number 4 asks about 3/10 plus 4 thousandths. So what is that as numbers? 0.3 and 0.004. Add those together, I get 0.304, which is answer C. Number 5, I have a cube there. Again, my beautiful artistic cube. And they're saying if you actually folded it, if you cut it out and folded it, what would be the opposite of number 1? So 4 would be a side, 5 would be a side, 6 would be a side, and 2 would be a side, and 1 would be underneath. So the opposite of 1 then would be 3, and that would be B. Up here, number 6, this is, you all should got number 6 right because we just finished this unit. So this is talking about the coordinates. So to find the coordinate for P, I want my X and my Y. So I have this triangle where these lines are straight. So my X, how far is it along here, is the same as Q, which is -11. My Y, which is my up and down, is the same as my R, which is -2. So I have -11 and -2. My coordinates are -11, -2. That is D. Number 7, it says I have a rectangle that is 2 and 18. And so the area of that is 36. And it wants to know what would be the length of a side of a square that has the same area. So because my area here is 36, my area here is 36. So how do I figure out my side? So that is side squared. I need to do the opposite. So the square root of 36 is 6. Or what number times what number is 36? That's 6, which is answer A. All right. Taking a look at number 8. Just going to try to move my camera down a little bit. There we go. Awesome. So number 8, I love this. So this person wrote a set of numbers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wants to know what the ratio of prime numbers to composite numbers are. So you got to know 3 things. What's a prime number? What's a composite number? And what the heck's the ratio? Prime numbers are numbers that you can divide by 1 in itself. Composite numbers have more factors. So let's start here. 3. Well, only can divide 3 by 1 and 3. So that's a prime number. 4 is composite. 5 is prime. 6 is composite. 7 is prime. 7 is composite. 8 and 9 are prime. So I have 3 prime numbers, 4 composite numbers. My ratio then is just 3 to 4, which is answer A. Number 9 was an example I gave to you on the video. So 10% of 200 equals 20% of what number? So on my calculator, I'm doing 10% of 200. If you remember, we did a ton of this in our percent units. So I'm dividing 10 by 100 because it's 10%, 10 out of 100, which is 0.1. Turns my of to times. 0.1 times 20, 200, is 20. So 0.2, which is 20%, times what is 20? So I have all my options. So I think it's like 40, like 50, then 100, and it's 100. So because this is double, this is cut in half. Option C. All right, number 10 is over here. So number 10 says that you have a circle with a circumference of 100 pi centimeters. Why do they write it like that? I don't know. Gauss tests always seem to do that. It's the same thing as saying 100 times 3.14 centimeters, or 314 centimeters. But we're just going to leave it at 100 pi centimeters. So what you have to remember is the formula for circumference, which is pi times diameter. Then you need to know it's asking for radius. And you need to know that radius is half the diameter. If the circumference is pi times diameter, and your answer is 100 times pi, you know your diameter is 100. So half 100 is 50, which is option C. All right. Number 11. Number 11, I like number 11. I don't have the test in front of me. So number 11 is asking you, what's the angle of P? If you hang on, I will get the test. That's awesome film editing right there. All right. I want to read number 11 to you because it gives a lot of details. So number 11 says, in the diagram PQR, it's right angled. So this is, you can barely read it, but there is a right angle in there. Point S lies on PR, so QRS is equilateral. QRS is equilateral. So I would stop you right there. If it's an equilateral, no matter what my picture looks like, equilateral will tell you that all these sides are equal and all these angles are equal. If all the angles are equal, we know that the angles are 60 degrees because there are 180 degrees in a triangle. 3 angles, 180 divided by 3 is 60. So I know this angle, this angle, and this angle, and I wrote those in blue already. So that's 60. Then the question is, what's the measure of P up here? Well, if I know that this is 60, and I know that this is a right angle, which is 90, so I have 60 in my 90, which gives me 150. Then I just subtract 180 from 150. It gives me what's left is 30, which is answer E. All right. Number 12. Number 12, a couple of you had issues with because you forgot to follow bad math. So here, previously, I actually tried it all out for you. Sorry, I actually already deleted the video, the super long one. And you got to try them all out until you get to the last one, which is times plus times. So which gives me 3 times 5 plus 7 times 9. I have to do bad math, so I got to do 3 times 5 first, which is 15, plus 7 times 9. Then I do 7 times 9, which is 15 times 63. Answer is 78. My answer is E. Don't forget to follow all your math rules. All right, number 13. Number 13, Ahmed gets to choose 2 different items, and he has apple, orange, banana, and granola bar. So I'm just going to, I just simply wrote down all the options. So you can have an apple and an orange. I even drew lines. Apple, banana, or apple and a granola bar. Or you can have an orange and a banana, orange and a granola bar, or a banana and a granola bar. So that's 6 options. The mathematical way of doing this is if there's 4 options, it's 3 times 2 times 1, which is also just 6, and option D. All right, I'm going to move down my tripod again. All right, 15, pretty, 14. 14 was also one of the examples that we never did on the video. 1 soccer ball plus 1 shirt is $100. 2 soccer balls, 3 shirts is $262. The question is, how much is 1 ball? There are mathematical ways of figuring this out, but you also have all the answers in front of you. So just try it. Lucky for us, the first answer is A, which is $38. So if the ball is $38, a shirt $62, that would make 2 balls $76, 3 shirts $186, and when you add them together, they get $262. So you know that answer is right. So you could say A. Number 15 is a question you should all get. It is back to our scale drawings. We've done this, proportions. So 1 centimeter is 600,000 centimeters. What is 2 centimeters? So that would be, it's hard to read now because I've scratched them all out, but it's 1.2 million. And you have to remember that 1 kilometer equals 100,000 centimeters. So then I take off 5 zeros, which leaves me with 12. And that is answer A. All right. Up to 16. Okay, tripod's not cooperating. 16. Number 16 says that you have the mean or the average of 6 numbers is 10. If you take away the number 25, what's the average of the remaining numbers? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers equals 60. How do I get 60? Well, to find out average, you need to add the 6 numbers and divide by how many numbers there are. So these 6 numbers, when I add together and divide by 6, is 10. So when I add them together, the answer is 60. So now it's saying take the number 25 away. Well, if I take the number 25 away, I have 60 minus 25, which is 35. So if I add my 5 numbers together, they equal 35. To find the average of 5 numbers, I divide by 5. That gives me 7. My answer is B. All right, number 17. Oh, I like this one. Too bad I deleted the video. All right, so number 17 asks for a lot of things. What you have to do is you have to write down what it's really asking. Well, it's saying that you have to have positive numbers between 10 and 2016. They have to be divisible by 3, so you have to remember what your divisibility rules are for 3. And that is, if you add the digits together, the sum of them should be able to be divided by 3. And then they all have to have the same digit. So the first possibility would be 11, because it has all the digits that are the same, but it's not divisible by 3. 22 would be the next. It's not divisible by 3, right? So divisibility rules, 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 is not divisible by 3. 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 you can divide by 3. 44, no. 55, no. 66 is a yes. 77, 88, 99. And then all the 3-digit ones, so 1, 11, 2, 22, 3, these are all divisible by 3. How do I know? Well, add these digits, that's 3. This is 6. This is 9. This is 12. This is 15. This is 18. This is 21, 24, and 27. They're just multiples of 3. So that's it. Because 1,111 doesn't work, and then the next one would be too high. So, how many do I have? I got 12. That's answer B. All right, number 18. This person drove 165 kilometers, and that was 3/8 of the tank of gas. How much further can he go? So I wrote it 3/8 equals 165. Now, what's the question asking? It's how much further can he go? Well, if he's gone 3/8, it means he has 5/8 left to go. So then I'm going to say, what is 1/8? If 3/8 is 165, what is 1/8? So all I'm doing is 165 divided by 3, which gives me 55. So 1/8 is 55. So what would 5/8 be? Well, that's 5 times 55, which gives me 275 kilometers left. That is E. All right, number 19 I like a lot. It's kind of fun. So I have these balances. So 2 circles equals 6 squares. And yeah, I started scratching them all in for you. Sorry, you don't get to see that awesome video. I should have saved it, but I didn't. Here I have 2 circles, 6 squares equals 4 triangles. And we're going to ignore this part for a second. All right, so what I did down here before I even looked at the question is I want to ask myself, what do these balances tell me? What is true? So I said, based on this one, it tells me that 1, so I shaded it in, 1 of these circles equals 3 of these, because there's 2 to 6. So it's like simplifying a ratio. 2 to 6, that'd be 1 to 3. So 1 circle equals 3. So I wrote that down. That's true. What's also true is 2 equals 6. I wrote that down because that's also true. Let's take a look at this other one. It's a little bit more complicated because I have 2 circles and 6. So it's like everything here goes on here. And there's 4 triangles. So what does 1 triangle equal? That's what I want to know. Because over here I was able to figure out what 1 circle answers. So I said here, because 1 circle equals 3, and there's 6, this here, 2 circles, 6 squares, is the same thing as saying 4 circles, right? Because 1 equals 3, so 3 of these would become a circle, and 3 of these would become a circle. That leaves me with 4 circles. If 4 triangles equals 4 circles, that's the same thing as saying 1 triangle equals 1 circle. Because 1 circle equals 3 squares, that means a triangle also equals 3 squares. So then I just read the options, because the options are asking you what's not true. And I'm able to prove that they are all true except for D. All right, one more. And let's see if I can bring my tripod down again. It's not cooperating. I'm stuck. Oh well. Here we go. Back up. All right. So number 20 is asking you, what's the length of BD? And you're going, I have no idea what BD is. Now I made a big mess and I had so many funny jokes in my other video about my awesome straight lines. You have a rectangle with coordinates and it's asking you the length of BD, which is a diagonal, obviously. So how do you figure out diagonals? And you're like, oh, I know how to do that. That's Pythagorean theory because this is a triangle with a right angle. So it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So you need to figure out the base and the height of your triangle. So base, you're starting with, what is my x's, right? How far does it go along my x? So x is the first. So -2 to 3. -2 to 1 to 0 to 1, 2, 3 is 5. So I have my 5. My height, or my b, is my y, my vertical. So it's at 9. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. And then I have to go -3. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm moving 12. 5 squared is 5 times 5. 12 squared is 12 times 12. 25 plus 144 is 169. That's c squared. I want to know what c is. So the square root of 169 is 13. That gives me a. All right. I'm not going to do c. I have the answers down here. For 21 is c. 22 is D, 23 D, 24 B, 25 B, because they're super, super, super long. And I don't even know how to do it, so I'm not teaching it. And it's not grade 8 math. Deal with it. These are ones you should be able to do. Tomorrow we'll take another one. There's going to be a Pythagorean theory question. There's going to be rate and ratio. There's going to be all the stuff that we've been doing this year, which is why I like taking these. So take a look at this video. Hopefully that's helpful. Send me a message if you're still confused, and we'll go from there. This is like an 18-minute video, so much shorter than my 33-minute video. See you later.